if you're really an individual, you've fused the five centers into one
Mhm.
will. That's when you can actually say, I have will. It's really when you can say, I am, because that's the meaning of that. You know? But yeah, right. So you rub up against yourself, you brush up against yourself, um, you lean upon that which resists you, which was always a saying that was thrown out there but never actually explained. You lean on that which resists you. You create the necessary friction to make the jump. Now, let's take another example, okay? We're all the way back down to the physical world. Uh, you got an egg. I don't have yellow, okay? So sorry, it's just gonna have to suffice. But you've got the yolk and you've got the white part, which is the albumin. Now, when a baby bird or chicken or whatever the case might be is fertilized and growing, which by the way is another clue because fertilization takes something from the outside, helps you understand the shock, but it takes something from the outside, creates the germ of life in the yolk. What happens is it begins to consume everything around it that's not endemic to it. All right. So the yolk consumes the albumin. Once it's ready, it breaks through the shock of the shell and enters a new universe, exactly like what's going on up here. That's the personality. From a very physical level, your divinity consumes your personality to energize it, just like an egg consumes all that's not it to be able to bust through that shell. So don't fault your personality. In fact, a person who doesn't grow up with a lot of influences, a lot of different personality traits, right? I mean, if you have children, give them as much experience as you possibly can. Give them so much reference. Let them be opinionated. Let them form, their own thoughts and beliefs. Let them research and get into anything they want to, because what you're doing is you're creating the fuel so that if they decide to go on a personal development journey, they'll have enough fuel to be able to consume, enhance their essence, and crack through the shock from world three to world one. Don't ever fault personality. It's there for a reason. There's a very sacred aspect to having a personality. Once you make that transition, and by the way, I'm not there, okay? I know what the road looks like, but I'm not going to tell you I'm there because I'm not. All right? Just let's be fair about it. But when you consume the personality and just become essence in and of yourself, that is man number seven, as they call it in the work. It's where ultimate goal. You can do it during a single lifetime if you have the right skills or are taught the right skills and taught I mean, listen, right? Every way, the first way having to do with the way of the body, right? These fakirs will put themselves in the most torturous positions and hold it for 10 years, type of thing. What are they doing? They're creating energy for their journey. Right? The second way, the way of the emotion, there's some religions where you have to go from a standing position, kneel down to the ground, prostrate, come back to a standing position 1,000 times. 1,000 times. That is a kind of devotion that is going to create, or I shouldn't say create, it's going to release the heat, release that energy through a certain type of emotional friction. It's not actually a physical thing. And then in certain monasteries, you have to memorize the sutras, 10,000 of them, word for word. You get that done, they say, okay, go. And they come check on you about a year later, and you're still doing it, and you finally finish up. That's a lot of friction to be able to train your mind to do that. Fortunately, in our way, we take kind of a shortcut. We look for opportunities to release friction in our daily lives. I should say, release energy into our personal development in our daily lives. We don't have to go to a monastery and memorize sutras. We don't have to do, you know, torturous physical postures and all this sort of thing. We're smart about it. We take opportunities that present themselves in daily life, like someone pissing you off, right? Someone who would encourage road rage, or someone who uh, thinks less of you than you believe you deserve to be thought of. That's a big one for people, isn't it? Right? How dare they? Huh? How dare they think of me that way? Huh? You use that, and if you can't find it, you create it, like making your dinner and walking away from it, like walking around the house 10 times before you open the door. Those sorts of, I mean, there's millions of ways you can think of to release that type of energy. And emotions that's a lot of energy, actually. If you can get angry and never show it, you will feel the transformation. You feel an alchemical transformation begin to happen inside of you, because it makes you want to move, but you don't move. It makes you want to yell, but you don't yell. It makes you want to, all of these types of things. Once it realizes it's not going to have a physical outlet, I'm not saying suppress anger, feel it internally. Just don't express it outwardly. What it does is it releases that energy into you, which really can cause a great deal of personal development if you then know how to use it.